Welcome. Hello, hello. Been a while since I did one of these lives, getting things settled here. Good afternoon. Happy Independence Day for those in the US. Welcome to the first live broadcast simulcast that we've done in a long time. Hope everyone is having a fantastic day. I just came in from the pool and it occurs to me, I hope I buttoned my shirt evenly. Did I? Yeah. You know what? Nailed it. Doing well already. Grab my notes up here and we'll give everyone just a minute to come in. I'm Bill from cruisehabit.com. We are live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and I believe Twitch, even though no one ever watches the Twitch. But that's okay. That's okay. Thank you for those who are here and those watching on the replay. I wanted to take this opportunity on a holiday to talk ship with everyone, to go through uh, some cruise news. There's been a lot of big things lately, especially with some really interesting new ships. Talk about some of the cruises that we have coming up, answer your questions, probably say something inaccurate at some point, get made fun of later in the comments. That's all good. So if you have a question, please, I will be reading the comments, and we'll be going through and reading the comments in the afterward as well, for those who don't catch live or if I miss anything. Before I jump into news, let me just start diving in here. I'd love to see people engaged already. Celebrities canceling reservations, offering no price protection for customers planning beyond Mediterranean summer 2024. Bigger news than Coco K. So the Beyond change, let's see. Yeah, because Beyond's going to be in the Caribbean. Cruise lines have different like internal policies, and it stinks when your plans get changed. It'd be good if they took good care of folks. I think a lot of time it comes down to how much time are they giving you to adjust those plans. Um, yeah, if I was booked on one, I might be annoyed. I get it. I suspect in their case they're saying, "Well, we're giving you plenty of notice." I don't love it, but I also understand their businesses, and they're gonna do things to accommodate. The good news is, to make money before they accommodate. The good news is, in addition to having lots of time, you get a lot of options. That time that ship was going to be in the Med, there are a lot of other vessels there, whether it's Celebrity or something different. So again, not taken away at all for those who were on those sailings. It is a bummer. Judy, long time no see indeed. I've been mediocre with posting videos, horrible with posting lives. So ready to do it. Jose Pena, speaking of people that I haven't seen in a long time. Hello, my friend. Jason Peterson, another one we haven't seen in a while. You have a few minutes before you fire up the grill. Well, I was just outside. I was sitting at the pool for a while. It's a lovely day, and the thunder's coming. So if you're in Southeast Florida, I hope you have a plan B for grilling. I think it's supposed to rain quite a bit. Also, Jason Peterson, plan a Virgin cruise for September. Looking forward to trying them out. 5 nights to Bimini and Costa Maya. Oh, 5 nights to Costa Maya. Those are less common. Often the 5 night sailings are those are the Puerto Plata sailings, which is great. But I love Costa Maya for visiting Maya Chan. Guys, I have lots of videos about Virgin voyages, other cruise lines too, but I love Virgin. I got lots of stuff on Virgin. If you have any questions, check out those videos and articles on the site. In addition, if you want to know what to do in Costa Maya, I have a video on Maya Chan. Gurman, yes. I promise you, river cruise videos are coming. So we did an amazing river cruise on Ama Waterways last year in October, November, I guess it was. And yeah, I've been dragging my feet. I promise, though, those videos are absolutely coming. We're going to do some things to know. We're going to do like a general review thing, some destination highlights. They are coming, I promise. And I'm glad you asked. I mean that sincerely. Hold my feet to the fire. Already booked Maya Chantu. Glad to hear it. Let's jump over to cruise news for a moment. Actually, can I split screen this? I need like a third display. Is that just greedy of me at this point? Let's go with this. That'll work. Excuse me. All right. So some of the things I'm going to talk about, by the way, I have some content about already on the site. Some I don't, but I will. It depends. But there are, especially around new ships, some things that are really impressive, and some of those ships we're going to be sailing on, and I'll talk about those that we'll be sailing on, um, and, some special deals. But we'll get to that, and I'll tell you which sailings those are in a minute. The first thing I want to talk about is Sun Princess. Now I know a lot of folks just focus on Carnival, Royal Caribbean, um, NCL, maybe Celebrity a bit. Um, but Princess is an interesting brand. We did our first Princess sailing last November. Last November? I've lost all track of time. In a November recently, and I was really impressed with the product. That said, there were certain parts of it I thought feels a little bit legacy, but if it works for them, and they did a great job with technology, and it was very relaxing. Like that was my takeaway. It was like Princess is relaxing, but traditionally they've skewed like in the between contemporary and premium space. Um, and that looks to be maybe shifting a little bit or bringing something new to the table with Sun Princess and the Sphere class. Hello, by the way, Scott Laura, trying to go back and forth here. Glad they enjoyed Scarlet Lady. Happy to, I guess I'll just have to go back on myself to make sure it's still as awesome as it was for your son-in-law and daughter, and make more videos. So with Princess, this new Sphere class, and let me go ahead and roll some footage as I'm talking about it. Um, they are, is that going to move, or is it just going to stay there? Well, this worked so well when I tested it. We'll see what happens here. I'll play with it as I'm talking. This new Sphere class is interesting for a few reasons, and that's that. In addition to being their largest, I don't know why that's not working. In addition to being their largest ship, in addition to being of a totally different platform than Discover Princess, Enchanted Princess, Regal Princess, all those, uh, they announced recently that there's going to be a top like entertainment deck. Now they call it, what did they call it? Family activity zone. Now, introducing the idea of family, I'm going to keep trying this video, confused as to why it worked before. There we go. They called this this new family zone. The fact that they called it this is interesting because there's definitely stuff for kids, there's definitely stuff for adults, and everyone in between. Beautiful ship overall. They've got this dome. It's a multi-level indoor outdoor deck. Very modern design for Princess. Looks more like some of the newer Regal class ships on the inside, or am I saying the right class name? But some of the newer ones on the inside do look a little more modern, but still felt kind of like a modern grandma's house in some ways. However, this new vessel looks really a lot more up to date, right? And trying to roll the right parts of the video here, and it's not just because of that top deck, but they've opened the ship up a lot more. It seems like there's this whole opening in the center, which is really nice, in addition to the open deck spaces. And I think that's going to get them a lot of attention. People pay a lot of attention to these flashy new ships, but Princess, to a lot of folks, is still a 70s line, right? It's still the love boat. So hopefully this gets them some good attention, and especially with that whole family deck where they're going to have, let's see, a roller glider is what they call it, called the Sea Breeze. It's like a rope thing that you're attached to when you slide over the open decks and the water. There's going to be climbing structures, a splash zone. So again, that family focus is new and interesting, and I suspect that there are many people out there that they've cruised Royal, they've cruised NCL, they've cruised Carnival, and they think, okay, I want something maybe a little more upscale, not a luxury line, not something sleepy, but I want my family to have a good time too. I want the kids to have a good time, and this could be a really awesome opportunity. So that's a big one, and I'm looking. Sun Princess is starting spring and summer of 2024 in the Med. Then she'll be doing Eastern Western Caribbean alternating itineraries out of Port Everglades in the fall, and then you've got the second in the class. I forgot the name of that, in spring of 2025. So I don't know if I'll get over there while she's in Europe or not. I do want to get some more Europe stuff going, but To the point earlier, maybe more river stuff. I don't know. We'll find out. But definitely when she's here in the Caribbean, I want to check that out. And if you haven't looked into Princess before, check out some of their newer ships. Maybe it's something that's interesting to you. If you're looking for a relaxing, quiet vacation, um, it it might be more interesting to you than you think. Let me bring up another comment here. Jose, your wife's 6-year-old, and you want to visit Japan 25. You'd like to add on a cruise during your stay. What cruise line would you recommend and why? So Japan is interesting. So the cruising in Asia overall, it's kind of two different worlds, right? One of them is the Chinese cruise market, and I'll include, well, actually two and a half, let's say. Chinese cruise market does a lot of contracts with ships where the cruise line isn't even operating the ship themselves. Sometimes there are also a lot of smaller lines out of that market. Very heavy focus on gambling. Um, then you have Singapore, which is a bit of a hybrid because you have some of that model, but you have the big guys. You have Royal Caribbean that have done ships out of there. You have intermittently other lines, including some of the higher end luxury lines, and they attract both a mix of Americans and North Americans and Asians. Still, always going to be a big focus on gambling. Then you've got sailings out of Japan tend to be, for the most part, unless we're talking about like cruise ferries and things like that in the Sea of Japan, then we're talking very Americanized lines, a lot of Americans and Europeans on those experiences. The the consideration with one of the considerations with Japan's is the timing in terms of weather. However, over the years, it's become a lot more seasonal, so you don't quite have to worry about that as much. And then it just comes down to the same thing as every other cruise decision. What type of cruise experience are you looking for? Um, being that you're bringing the 6-year-old, I don't have kids, so as you know, I'm not good with this. I would say, are you looking to have a cruise vacation for your kids, or for your 6-year-old rather, or are you looking to have it where they are along and they're going to be pretty content doing whatever you do? If the latter, my advice is look at some of the smaller lines that operate out of there. Look at some of the Oceanas and things like that, because you'll get, I think, a much better port experience. You'll hit some smaller ports in that area and a much more immersive cruise experience that way. If you say, well, you know what, I want to make sure that my 6-year-old, or for others watching, your kids have more going on the ship, then I would stick with them. Just stay mainstream when the big three have tonnage there. You're still going to get a very different experience in terms of the ports than you're getting out in this region, but you'll have that familiarity to fall back on. Uh, Ray, hello, my friend. Looking back at the comments for a minute. Mitchell, happy Independence Day to you as well. Semel space, I have no idea what that says. Apologies. Now let's talk about another big ship. And this one, I bet you guys have heard about. Oh, got one more question. Let me jump to that one. Doug asks, what excursions or activities would I recommend in Aruba and Curacao? So I'll talk about the ABC Islands, even if you're only visiting Aruba and Curacao, just because they often kind of go together as a set. This is where I'm really wishing I brought water. Aruba feels like a resort town to me. It feels like South Florida, but less crowded. And that's not a bad thing at all, right? You have a lot of the American chains there. You have a lot of big resorts, stuff like that. If that's what you want to do, fantastic. Big, wide beaches, enjoy it. It's less crazy than here. Then you have Bonaire, which is essentially, it's very rustic. If you want to dive, snorkel, that's the place you do it. Curacao is, I always say, it feels like Amsterdam in pastels. Very, very unique place. I would say Curacao, go for a cultural tour. Curacao, you've got a lot of cultural tours, whether that to you means a food tour, whether that means tour of museums, self-guided or with a group. They have some interesting museums there. There's a maritime museum, not very large, but a nice maritime museum that I visited there. And there's a lot of good food, safe place to walk around, beautiful buildings. The architecture is neat, the unique bridges. So I'd look at cultural tours for Curacao. Aruba, I'd say that's a beach day. If you want to go exploring a little bit, you can in Aruba find what's kind of unique about that place. And they have this in Curacao and Bonaire as well, but you won't find yourself there as easily with Aruba. They have like desert scapes in Aruba. Like you have this beach island, just off the coast of South America, off Venezuela, and Um, but you have what looks like a desert scape and cactus and these giant, very scary bugs. Um, but yeah, so I would say Aruba for a resort visit, Curacao for a cultural tour. Uh, let's see. Where'd I go? Back to my notes real quick. Keep the questions coming, by the way. I'm hopping back and forth because I don't want anyone to wait too long. Icon of the Seas. That's the next one I want to talk about. Now, probably all of you have heard about Icon. If not, Icon of the Seas is a ship that's coming out in January from Royal Caribbean. It is a new class of ship. So Royal Caribbean has this thing that every time they release a new ship, they've done this for many years. Oh, it's the biggest ship ever because they take Oasis class ships and they make them slightly larger. Maybe they're a little bit longer by a couple inches. Maybe they're not any longer, but they're larger in gross tonnage, which is actually a measurement of volume, because they enclose more spaces or have another deck, things like that. It's not a bad thing, by the way. But Icon is totally different. It's a totally different platform. It is much bigger, even. It's 20 decks, going to carry 5,610 passengers at double occupancy, 7,600 passengers with all berths full. So those third and fourth bunk beds and stuff like that, plus all those crew. 250.8 thousand gross tons, 1,198 feet long. Compared to Oasis, just to give you an idea, Wonder is 1,188 feet long, so it's another only 10 feet. But it's Oasis class or 18 decks, 237. Wonder was 237 gross. 237,000 gross tons. So we're looking at a big bump up in size, but also some of the stuff they're doing is totally new and very exciting. I want to talk about that. First, I got to call out Kathy. Hey there, Kathy. Thanks for hopping in. Good to see you as well. And Ray, that's Ray's next ship, Icon. Are you on the Maiden? Because we're going to be talking about that. So there are also new neighborhoods. Oasis class has neighborhoods, and they have that concept on Icon, but there are new neighborhoods, Thrill Island and Chill Island. Oh, I have some videos of this too. I'm really doing bad with the AV here today, huh? So they've got Thrill Island and Chill Island. You've got Cloud 17, an adult only area with an infinity pool and a separate bar. Instead of the boardwalk, you have Surfside. There's an Aquadome, which is instead of a solarium, it's this enclosed area for entertainment, but also with lounges and food options. It's a really cool looking thing that they've done. And one of the things they emphasize is that even from the Royal Promenade, more ocean views. Listen, I like Royal Caribbean, but if you watch some of my videos, I complain because you can't see the ocean from a lot of their ships. I want to know I'm on a ship, especially on the Oasis class. It's a little annoying. That's one thing that they said they've improved on Icon of the Seas. There's a lot of new stuff. They're also a very homogenous brand, which is great until you've gone on a few times. You want something different. And I think we're really seeing that change with Icon of the Seas. So I'm going to be on the maiden voyage. That's January. I should have put that in my notes. I want to say 24th. I don't know. But I'm going to be on Icon of the Seas, the maiden voyage. Last I checked, it was sold out. If there's space, hey, come join me. Actually, it's one of the only sailings I don't have up under cruisehabit.com/join us, where I post my sailings, but I will add it, I promise. Look at the infinity pool there, bright colors, loving this. Let me see. I see there's a couple questions. Judy, what question did I miss? Provide recommendations for Bermuda. Will be there mid-September. I will leave that to the commenters because, believe it or not, I've never been to Bermuda. I've now had 2 Bermuda cancelings sailed, maybe more than that, because I had one booked before COVID, and then COVID happened, and then another one. I forgot why it got canceled. Yeah, still haven't made it. What I find interesting about Bermuda, by the way, as a destination, is that you can go on a cruise to Bermuda for less than it costs to fly there and stay in a hotel, like a lot cheaper. And then you get all your food there. So I don't know, but I hope folks in the comments can provide some suggestions. And I'll just have to go to Bermuda for research. Look at that, another infinity pool. Look at the way the stadium kind of almost stadium sort of seating, like the look of it. This ship looks really cool. I'm genuinely excited for Icon as somebody that's kind of burned out on Royal Caribbean in certain ways, but I'm going to get more to that in a moment. Let me see. Kathy, not sailing on Icon, not the demographic you're looking for. You're on Ascent 2024. I want to go on Ascent. I was just on Beyond, Celebrity Beyond, sister ship to Celebrity Ascent, the latest and greatest of celebrities offerings. And really, I can't speak highly enough about Beyond. I love Edge Class, and many of you know I love Edge Class. They really amped it up with Beyond and Ascent. So I'm excited for you. And I agree. I don't need a lot of the whiz bang stuff on here. I don't have kids, but I just think Icon is so cool. It's my duty to check it out, right? Yeah, it's a tough job. Someone's got to do it. Ray, you want to spend your birthday? We're talking Icon, July 1st. So happy belated birthday, Ricky. So I don't think it's so much the. By the way, this isn't that Aquadome thing instead of Solarium. Doesn't that look amazing? You should see it. I don't know. We might have already showed the renderings at night. What demo for Icon? I don't think it's really a different demo for Icon per se, but in general, Royal Caribbean is a line that tries to be something to everyone. Swiss Army knife or a Leatherman. I carry a Leatherman everywhere. I have Swiss Army knives. I think they're wonderful tools, absolutely wonderful tools. But very few people would say that they do, that they have a focus on doing one thing as a specialty. That's not what they're trying to do, right? Royal Caribbean, they want to make it so that if you want to go on there with your kids, your parents, you know, 4 generations of people, that everyone has something that they can enjoy. This pearl, by the way, that we're seeing in this rendering, they left that intentionally ambiguous because they haven't announced exactly what's going to go on there. It has to do with something with crazy lights. I don't know. So yeah, the demo for Icon is that there isn't one, right? Stuff like that. You're looking at multi-generation travel. It's going to attract a lot of people with young kids, but others as well. If you want something a little quieter, though, but you still want larger ships, and you don't need the water slides and the rock walls to entertain you, that's when you go to a line like Celebrity or maybe even Holland America, something like that. It just depends. Kathy, thank you for putting the link up there in the comments. Again, if you want to see what sailings we will be on, except for the Icon one, which I still haven't added, oops. Check out cruisehabit.com/join us. We keep adding more and more and more as we book more. And there's even a link where you can click and get a quote from our travel partners at Touring Plans Travel and come on board with us. And if you do that, by the way, our friends and partners at Touring Plans will give you a little extra something for being on the same sailing that we're on. And I'll buy you a drink. Why not? I will buy you a drink if you. Billy, remember, I watched your video and I'm on this cruise now. Buy a drink. Done. I've done that for people. I've done that multiple times. So it's not, I promise. So yeah, I would love for you guys to join us. Check that out. Kathy, you exclaimed what? But I'm so far behind in comments. I don't know what that exclamation was about. Judy, you've been there. Oh no, I said, you're saying two, Kathy's saying to Judy. Yes, you're going to call next week. See, we make connections happen here. We make connections. Judy asked a question about Bermuda. Kathy says, okay, I'll tell you all about Bermuda. Thank you. You're awesome. Yeah, and true about the cost for Bermuda. It's wild how expensive it is. Like, it'd be hard for me to ever think about going to Bermuda anyway, but a cruise. It's a fortune. Michael, I hope I'm not mispronouncing your name. Posen? Oh, I'm sorry. I definitely mispronounced it if I try twice, right? Michael, looking forward to joining us on Valiant late in December. What are the excursion plans or what do we recommend for St. Croix? This is a great question and a great time for me to transition away. Oh, man, that was great timing with that ending of that Icon stuff. So Michael's talking about virginvoyagesgroupcruise.com. We're going to be on December 2nd. I screwed up with 3rd because I think last year I did one on the 3rd. December 2nd this year on Virgin Voyages Valiant Lady, 8 nights out of Miami. Going to, should have it in front of me, San Juan, St. Croix, Puerto Plata, and Bimini. Did I forget anything? Really excited for this because I love Virgin. I want to show everyone that I think would be interested in what Virgin has to offer, whether it's for the party element, for the relaxation element. Oh, I was covering my own promo there. I want to show you guys, so check it out. There's still space available, and we're going to do some special things like we've done in the past for these big groups, like when we did a big group in July of last year. In fact, I was on the ship a year ago today on Scarlet Lady for a Virgin group that we hosted. And one of those things is we're going to have an excursion that will be available at a what I will call a deeply, 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 deeply discounted rate. for those that have booked through the group. Now, if you're watching, say, "Oh, I'm going to be on that," but my friend is a travel agent, or I didn't book through the group for whatever reason. By the way, if you book direct in the last 30 days, fill out the form on this website, and you can still join us if it was in the last 30 days. But either way, if you're on board, we're going to have events, we're going to have parties, we're going to have get-togethers. I'll buy you drinks. We're going to be hanging out. If you did book through the group, we've got a deeply discounted excursion, and that's going to almost certainly be the day that we are in St. Croix. I don't want to tell you too much because I like to under promise and over deliver. And it's a challenge that I admit that I have because people want to know what the plans are. But I always like to under promise, over deliver. Talk to people that have been on my groups, and you'll see that it happens every time. Look at some of my past group videos. I will tell you that what I'm thinking for St. Croix involves a boat, some drinks, a swim, and visiting a different place. I'll give you that. Generally, when we're able to start shoring some of these things up is once we hit that final payment date. And the reason is I don't want to tell you that we're going to do one thing and then not enough people end up going once that final payment date hits, or way more people than we think. And we're like, oh, it's too many people, then we can't fit all those people in these plans. So that's why. Good news or bad news, depending on how you look at it. Final payment for our group cruise on Valiant Lady comes up in soon. What is it, 120 days out? So I think we're probably a couple months out. So yeah, that's the deal, Michael. The long story with that. Emma, hey there, Emma. Sorry, I just got to your comment now. It's been so long, Emma, since I did a live that I'm nowhere nearly as smooth as you are with these. Going back in time and showing somebody this. Oh man, just please don't show like any of my like English teachers. Frankly, don't show any of my teachers. They'll probably think their career was not worth it. And I assure you it was, except for one. I'm thinking of you. Kathy, that's what you didn't tell me. You booked Galapagos sailing for 2025, Kathy. I'm going to guess you did that through Celebrity. That is on my like top 5 needs to happen list. Also, send your donations, by the way. Very cool. I'm going to be living vicariously through you. In fact, if you want to make a video about it or you want to write about it for the site, putting it out there. No, you should enjoy your vacation. Michael, thank you. Pawson, thank you. I appreciate that. Oops, I'm clicking all over the place. Ricky, you're on the week after. Oh, the Valiant sailing. We might have talked about this. Ricky, I will confess, you may know, some people don't know. You know what happened last time I did a back-to-back on Virgin? That was on our July group cruise. I got COVID on the back-to-back, which I felt so bad because can you imagine? Anyone can imagine this. Emma, if you're still watching, just imagine you do a group cruise and then you find out the day after everyone disembarks that you may have spread COVID. I felt really bad. Fortunately, like almost no one else from our group got sick. Almost. Let's see. Kathy, and then I want to jump into another sailing here, but this is good. Thank you guys for all the comments. Keep them coming. Kathy, got a good group rate. Price wasn't horrendous for what you got. Yes, please. I would love it. If you want to write something up, we could do like an interview thing. We could talk like this, but where you're, here, I'll give you the bigger side of the screen. That would be cool. Partially because I think people really, really want to know about that. Also because I need to live through you. I want to take that cruise so badly. My cousins actually did it a few years ago, and I haven't seen them in more than several years. I need to fly out, go see my cousins, be like, oh my God, I can't believe I haven't seen you in so long. No, tell me all about your Galapagos cruise. Let's see. So back to the new ship discussion, which will segue into a couple other things. Actually, I have one other news thing after that. Utopia of the seas. Let's talk Utopia for a second. So I was talking about Oasis class ships and how, they make changes and improvements, but they're based on that same platform. Well, Utopia of the seas is, okay, I didn't expect the video to start there. Again, not good with the lives this time. Utopia has some really new things, like a new restaurant. And you can see even as these images, look at that. Giovanni's, that's where the jazz bar was. Izumi in the park, that's Izumi in Central Park, but they've got like an immersive train themed restaurant that seems very much like something Disney Cruise Line would do. And I mean that in the best imaginable way, where like it looks like you're sitting in a train car in the window, you see stuff going by. Pesky Parrot, it's a new tiki bar. I don't know why they're not doing the bamboo room, but it looks really cool. Yeah, I'm really excited because they're doing some unique things. But the most unique thing about Utopia, oh, and by the way, Mason Jar is back on Utopia. Love Mason Jar from Wonder. The most unique thing about Utopia is that she's going to be doing 3 and 4 night sailings. So they're taking a brand new, the newest Oasis class ship, which by the way will be LNG powered, first LNG powered Oasis class ship. And they are putting her just out of Port Canaveral for 3 and 4 night sailings. No cruise line has ever taken a brand new billion-dollar ship like that and put her and put her on weekends. And I think that's a great thing. In fact, I made a video, link below when I add this later. When I think they might have announced it while I was on Wonder of the Seas, maybe the first time on the Maiden. When they said they were going to send Oasis for 3 and 4 nighters. And I thought, wow, that's really cool, sending a really quality product for these short sailings. And now they're doing with a brand new build that to me looks like the best of what Oasis class is going to have to offer. So I want to invite you guys, that includes you, Ray Perdomo. We can go to Mason Jar together because I loved it on Wonder too. Became my favorite specialty restaurant on a Royal Caribbean ship. I want to invite all of you. I just knocked a very expensive set of headphones on top. To join me on Utopia of the Seas on October 25th of October 25th of 2024. I can't speak. And if you head over to cruisehabit.com/join us, I think I have it there, or I have it on the deals page up in the top nav, because we've got a special thing going on. And if I was better coordinated, I would share my screen right now. Let me. I will put a link real quick in the chat though, so that everyone can see. We've got a couple interesting things going on, and that is that on that sailing, because I want all of you to join me. That's a big link. You can click on it in your respective platforms, though. We'll put it in the show notes. Because you're going to be able to join me, we're going to do a couple things. First, right out the gate, you're going to get an extra $50 of onboard credit. Second, our friends and partners Touring Plan set up a group. So they've got on this sailing lower rates than anyone else has right now. Third, there's a July promotion that's combinable with this. So if you book this cruise during the month of July, you put down your deposit during the month of July, which by the way is a refundable deposit, you can get as much as $150 of onboard credit, and there are crazy low rates for that. So if you want to say, you know what, it's 3 or 4 nighter, and I'm not going to be in the cabin that much. Look at everything that Utopia has to offer. This is going to be a cool new ship with exciting new things. Inside stateroom, $78 per person per night before taxes. $78 per person per night for a brand new, totally different Oasis class ship. And you'll be joining us. We'll give you some onboard credit. We'll hang out, buy drinks. It'll be a good time. And it's visiting Perfect Day at Coco Cay, which is a fantastic destination, though I don't know. May just want to stay on the ship. So I know that was a big plug, but I do think it's pretty cool, and it's a good opportunity. Mike Reinhardt is here. It is a hell of a deal. He would know because he's going to join me. I don't know if Mike's going. I would love it if you go, Mike, but I don't want to overcommit. Mike, one of the awesome people at Touring Plans, and also a friend, hell of a nice guy. So yeah, check that out. I think what they're doing with this idea of putting new stuff on an Oasis class, the Tiki Bar. Oh, by the way, you know what that Tiki Bar is replacing, guys, on Oasis? Bionic Bar. I hated Bionic Bar. I just don't like Bionic Bar because you have one drink that it makes poorly, and then you're like, all right, and then you never go there again, and that thing costs a bunch of money and takes up a lot of space. So I'm really glad that they're putting a Tiki Bar there instead. It looks very cool. Willie, it is a deal. Come join us. Check it out in that link I put over there. Kathy, your ascent sailing is Western Caribbean, so not stopping Coco. So what Kathy's talking about is that Celebrity announced recently that they're going to start visiting sometimes, not always. They're going to start sending their ships to Coco because Royal Caribbean Group owns Royal Caribbean International and Royal Caribbean and Celebrity, in addition to other properties. And so yeah, they're going to start going to Coco, which is pretty cool. I don't think they've ever done it. Maybe they've done it once or twice. In the past, they went to Labadee, rarely, but it did happen. And I think they even have a Labadee sailing schedules as well. I think it's a cool idea, especially since Royal's going to be launching that, I forgot what they call it, but the adult-only beach at Coco. It's a neat destination, even if you're not going with family. So I think that's pretty cool. Next up, I want to talk about something with Carnival. I don't have any graphics for this because I don't plan well, but Carnival is doing something that I think is cool. You may or may not have heard about a thing that they're doing with their Costa brand. So Costa is an Italian cruise brand that's owned by Carnival Corporation, and they're similar brands in their respective markets, and that they are family cruise lines, relatively inexpensive, with a variety of ships, old and new, including some new ones that are pretty impressive. And like I really want to sail on Smeralda, which is an NCL class, like Carnival, Celebration, and Mardi Gras. But what they're doing now is they're creating this hybrid thing, Carnival Fun Italian style. Italian style. I think it's called formerly Costa by Carnival or something like that. So they brought over Carnival Venezia and Firenze to the Costa to the Carnival fleet, and these two ships are Costa ships, but they modified them slightly so that if you like Carnival, if you like those things, if you like Guy's Burgers, if you like some of those the staples of the Carnival brand, they have those on board, but they have a totally different design, decor, entertainment type things like that they offer on these Costa ships that they brought over. Venezia is going to be is out of New York. I believe they're going to be bringing her to Port Canaveral seasonally to do Eastern Western Caribbean itineraries. And the other ship's going to be, she's a Vista class out of starting 2024 out of Long Beach. So I just think it's a neat thing that they're trying, and it makes sense when you have multiple brands like that. You get this opportunity to see what works, see what doesn't, with relatively low risk. Yeah, they had to spend some money to outfit the ship for the U.S. market, to bring those Carnival staple things, but it's not like it was a new ship, right? If it doesn't work out, they can send her back. I think it's neat. I really want to try it out. Look up pictures and you'll see a pretty unique product there. So yeah, I just thought it was worth mentioning. Carnival Fun, Italian style. Carnival. Let me go check it out. I actually haven't asked them because it's out of New York and I just haven't had the time. But that's something that we may try and do soon. So that was all the new ship stuff, even though those last two weren't really new ships. They're just moving over from the Costa brand. I just thought they were pretty cool. What else do we have? I talked about Icon, that we're going to be sailing on Icon. Oh, we've got a couple other sailings that I'd love for you to join us on. One of them, a little bit short notice, a little bit. And that is to Alaska. We're going to be on Norwegian Encore October 8th for 1 week to Alaska. Round trip Seattle, which means it's easy for flights. You don't have to worry about flying in and out of Alaska, in or out of Alaska, because that can be expensive and pain with lots of layovers. Seattle's generally pretty easy to fly in and out of. And because it's a little toward end of season, you're going to see cheaper prices than you might expect to see on a newer ship like Norwegian Encore. They've got the observation lounge on that ship is gorgeous, because I was on Escape, which is a sister ship. Gorgeous place. That's going to be beautiful. That's where I'm going to be sitting and just watching the little islands that you pass and stuff as you go through Alaska. So you can join us on the Join Us page, cruisehabit.com/join us. Space available, great rates to come along October 8th on Norwegian Encore to Alaska. I've been to Alaska in several years. I hate that I waited so long to go to Alaska the first time. I don't like that I'm waiting so long to go back. So if you've never been, trust me. I know a lot of people think, cruising's for warm weather, stuff like that. I get it. I do. Talk to Matt Hochberg, that guy. I told him, Matt, you got to do Alaska. You're going to wish you didn't wait so long. And you know that when Matt first went to Alaska, he immediately texted me and said, I shouldn't have waited so long to do this. This is amazing. So check it out. Let's see, Kathy, have I sailed the Norwegian fjords? I have. My favorite destination, my favorite place I've ever been is the Norwegian fjords. Trondheim, Tromsø, Bergen, Garanger, Flom, beautiful. Highly encourage it. I was actually going to go with Matt, in fact, to cruise the Norwegian fjords in 2020, and that got canceled, unfortunately. Yes, that's beautiful. Partially, it is a totally different thing than Alaska. Totally different. But I will say one of the similar kind of benefits is that even when you're at sea, you have this amazing scenery as you sail through the fjords. And that's one of the benefits. Plus, you get a cool cultural experience, nice weather. It's lovely. Sarah, what are the cocktails like in Alaska? Well, the ice doesn't melt as fast. This seemed obvious, Sarah. You're smart. Same cocktails. The ice just doesn't melt as fast. You know what? I didn't notice last time if there were any like special Alaska cocktails, specialty Alaska cocktails. I'll have to keep an eye out. They were making people, I think, drinks of a little piece of ice that they pulled up from the ship that was floating around. I thought that was kind of neat. I touched it. I didn't get it in my drink. I touched it. Maybe I'll tweet that picture later. Michael, going on Ovation in May, 20th anniversary group. An anniversary couple got the royal suite, so you'll be hanging out there a lot. Very cool. So is it a group of people that are all celebrating their 20th anniversaries together? Like that you knew beforehand? I need to understand how this works. Also, hanging out in other people's suites is great because you get to enjoy a suite and not pay for it. It's one of my favorite hobbies. Thank you to everyone who I've mooched off of. Willie loved Alaska, Ketchikan. Yeah, those little towns are really cute. Like they're kind of I don't know, they're a little bit cheeky, but they're cute. I'm looking forward to just walking through again. Ketchikan, over the creek, Sitka. At some point you do see entirely too many totem poles though. But it's very cool. Kathy, you doing Alaska in September? Got a balcony for the Alaska cruise? Yeah, that's something that I tell people a lot of the time is everyone has their different. Oh, I always do inside. I always do balcony. I always do suite. That's fine. That's preference. Balcony, if you can, Alaska rather, if you can, prioritize a balcony. And the reason is there's so much beautiful stuff to see just as you're sailing by, just as you're just at sea, that you want to be able to catch that when you're getting dressed in the morning, when you've come back for an afternoon nap, whatever the case may be. And you want to be able to catch that passively. Also, depending on the date you're on and the ship you're on, there may be a lot of people on the open decks and you want your own little space to enjoy that. So, certainly not requisite. You'll have a great time either way. But if you can do a balcony in Alaska, do a balcony in Alaska. Brandon is watching the Virgin Voyages playlist right now. I have playlists for all sorts of things, for different cruise lines, for tips. So you guys can check that out over on the YouTube channel. YouTube.com/cruisehabit. I think cruisehabit.com/YouTube. I think I might have made that work too. So no going wrong here. But he's checking out because Brandon is going to be joining us on that Valiant Lady group cruise that I was talking about earlier on Virgin Voyages groupcruise.com. Looking forward to seeing you. I haven't seen you in forever. It's not intentional. I promise. Okay. I mean, there was that one time that I avoided you, but it was awkward because of that thing. Miss you. Main couple's 20th anniversary. All of your friends are going, okay. I thought it was like everyone's 20th anniversary. I was like, wow, what coordination. Well, that's very generous of them sharing their anniversary holiday with friends. Mike. So Mike was on, hunt down Mike on social media. That's not a thing you should say in 2023 anymore. Politely, kindly hunt him down on social media. He has, your Instagram is like on point, by the way. Such a great job. He was on Resilient Lady in Europe last week, in Greece, and it was, oh man, I was, yes, dying on the inside looking at your content. Kathy, you're going to Norway in September. I want to hear all about it. Love it. I think I remember you telling me. Nancy, hey there, Nancy. Larissa's somewhere changing because we're in the pool. Nancy's going to be on Ovation on July 14th for your 40th anniversary.
Hello.
Happy anniversary, Nancy. Yes. We look forward to hearing about your cruise.
I'm so excited
and
for
in a
her
balcony
trip.
because that's the right way to do it, especially for Alaska.
Yeah.
Sarah, your parents love their Alaska cruise and land tour. So a lot of folks do the land tour with Alaska, and that's a cool thing. You can do pre or post. A lot of cruise lines will arrange that for you. It's a neat option. I haven't done it yet. I'd like to one day, but yes, at some point you're like, wow, I've seen a lot of totems, man.
Totems.
A lot of totems. Uh,
It was mostly in one port that we saw a lot, I think.
In there's like a national park, like it's and all with totems in is it Sitka? I think it's Sitka. I gotta go back and look through pictures. Michael, I was in an Uber that was a Mustang Mach-E. I like that car. It's not bad.
Hi, Brandon. I know I haven't seen you guys.
Not
in so
avoiding.
Long. Oh my gosh.
We'll be in Orlando more again because we got our annual passes back. Jen, hello, Jen. Another awesome, knowledgeable person about all. Whoa, you're pushing my chair.
Cruises? Oh, sorry.
Stop touching the chair. Now I'm out of focus. I'm falling.
Don't fall. Sorry, I got excited.
So I got so distracted because everyone likes talking about Alaska, because if you haven't cruised to Alaska, you should cruise to Alaska. None of this like, it's for cruising is for warm weather. I get it. I used to think like that. It's amazing.
You did. And I always wanted to go on an Alaska cruise. When we met, I told you that I had like a dream about going on an Alaska cruise, and you were like, eh. And then you finally took me on one because we got married. Because it was our honeymoon cruise.
That makes it sound far more causational than it was, but okay.
Well, I don't know. It was just like, where do you want to go now?
Brandon, thank you for joining. I'm guessing you're out at at your pool bar and grilling. Wish I was there, in part because I just realized I'm really freaking hungry right now.
Yeah, we went to the pool, but we didn't have any barbecue. Our friends came, but they didn't bring food.
Jen, you were. Did I know that you were on Encore in May? I don't know if I knew that. Man. Yeah, you gotta give me all the Encore tips.
Do you remember when they were doing that NCL series?
I did a post about when NCL was doing like return to service videos, and they did a video about Choir Man. It's really cool. You can check it out on NCL's YouTube channel. It's still up there. Willie, I would like to go to Antarctica as well. Jay from Ship Life, he went a few months back, and it was really cool. Perry, longtime listener, first time caller, attempted to join Virgin Cruise, tried Virgin as an introverted solo, so it felt isolating. Kept thinking it would be awesome with a group though. Yeah, listen, I get it. Despite this, what's funny enough, I'm not like Mr. Social Butterfly. Larissa is not. I mean, this is Social Butterfly. However that works. Yeah, I think we actually had somebody. I wish he was in chat now to convince you. But Beer Man, he's we had a few solo cruisers actually, and several solo cruisers on our July Virgin group ended up staying for the back-to-back because they were having such a good time. They added it while they were on the first one. They thought this is so great, and it was like, are you going to stay? Oh, I'll stay if you stay. So I think that does make a big difference, and we're going to have a big group on Valiant.
So excited.
So Perry, please give it a shot. Mm-hmm. I'm not just trying to sell you on this. I genuinely think that the right combination for somebody that wants to cruise, but maybe doesn't as naturally flow into a social situation, but doesn't want to avoid it. I truly like Virgin group. I think that those two things, like either one of those are a little bit helpful. Virgin group, that's where it's at. It'll be fun. Eric can tell us how much fun, because Eric was there for one of our groups. He was there for also not really group, and he's going to be there, I believe, in December, right?
I didn't realize
what was I just going to bring up? I was looking over at my cruise list, and I thought, oh yes, XYZ. Oh, another one that we have, and Mike's in here. We're also going to be on Brilliant Lady out of San Juan, April 6th of next year. There's a Mike's running group for that, and we're going to be part of that group. I'm excited to take part again, like we did in February. We had a great time. I've never cruised out of San Juan. I love San Juan. I'm excited to visit San Juan on the Valiant Group cruise, which by the way, Perry, I have a whole San Juan plan for anyone that wants to go. It involves taking a car to the top. You walk your way down. It's a lot of fun. See eat, drink fun things, good sights, watch a beautiful
There's such
sunset.
good bars
It's
there.
it's a great time. So, but if you want to spend even more time in San Juan, then our April, what did I say it was? I just said it. Where'd my notes go? April 6th, brilliantladygroupcruise.com. I don't have a graphic up for that. And I'm afraid I'll type it wrong. So let me see. Brilliant Lady Group Cruise. I put it in the chat here. Just make sure that I got that right. Yes.
Yep.
So you guys can check that out. Click that in the respective platforms. Perry, why didn't you like the solo insider cabin? Just too small. I mean, those solo insider cabins. I like that they're an option. They are small, so everyone has their own thing there. I get it. One of the keys with any people focus on solo staterooms, and they can be a good option. But honestly, if you book far enough ahead, a lot of the time you can do a single occupancy in a regular stateroom for not that much more than solo staterooms, because solo staterooms tend to be in demand. I don't just mean that for Virgin. I mean that for a lot of lines.
General. Yeah, any lines that have that option. NCL's doing that a lot too.
Kathy, cruising out of San Juan isn't as fun. Ship doesn't leave from the Old Town area. So it's true. So when you visit San Juan on a cruise, when it's a port of call, you cruise out of the Old Town, out of Old San Juan. That's where you can just go to the top, walk your way down. It's beautiful. Everything you could possibly want is right there. When you're leaving, it's from like kind of the more industrialized, more modern city part. The good news is, you need to get there at least a day early, right? That's the right thing to do when you're cruising, is flying at least a day early, which means you have that extra time to explore the city. And there are other parts of San Juan that are a lot of fun, not just Old Town. So you got a lot of options there. Jeff, still looking at doing a back-to-back to join us on the 6th. I mean, you're already going to be on the ship, so it just makes sense.
You don't want to get off when we get on.
There's one other sailing that I want to mention that I don't have graphics up for, and this is way far ahead. Talk about saving by booking ahead. Though I do have this on the join us page, once again, cruisehabit.com/join us, and that is we're going to be on April 12th, 2025. This might be the farthest out I've ever booked a cruise. April 12th, 2025, MSC World America.
Yeah.
So that is a ship that, I'll be honest, looks design-wise remarkably similar to an Oasis class ship. Clearly they were inspired, we'll say that. But really cool, different kind of thing for MSC. And I thought, you know what? It's a maiden voyage, and the price was just so amazing. I'm going to check that out. So who knows? Maybe we'll see some of you on there. If you ever want to do a maiden voyage and at bargain prices, April 12th,
2025.
Yes,
So
it's over on the join us page. Excuse me.
But for some people, that's good if you need a little bit of lead time to plan more than we usually announce things really close. I think sometimes. So yeah.
Yeah, I know we have a bad habit of like, hey, join us on a sailing. We'll be there. Yeah, 6 months. Sometimes it's like 3 weeks.
Well, sometimes it's 3 weeks. Yeah.
Does that MSC have that awesome tiered aft pool? I know what you're talking about. You're talking about on like I suspect you're talking about like on Meraviglia. I don't know on MSC World Class.
That's something they do really well in Meraviglia, though. And other MSC ships, they have a lot of pool areas. I kind of like, I feel like there's always a place to go that's not too crowded if you want to sit by the pool compared to other ships that don't have as many. So that's one of my favorite things I think about MSC. Yeah,
man, Meraviglia. We have that pool video. That it was neat, and it has that cool, also that inside thing still makes cool. Yeah. Perry fell asleep in a closet, bad layout, previous cruise on a celebrity solo, infinite veranda. Pair the I see. Pair the Virgin Voyages bathroom with the Apex cabin, perfection. Interesting. I'm trying to remember what the solos looked like on Apex. I don't remember. I got to go look at pictures now. I feel like they were a more conventional layout that was a little bit larger than the solos on Virgin. Eric, thank you for hanging out, my friend. Enjoy the holiday.
I'm gonna go fun. Too. I want to say bye real quick. I was waiting for you to pause. Sorry. Bye, everybody.
Thanks. Toodles.
Sorry to crash your
no. Thank you, Larissa, for coming and hanging out. So yeah, let's see. What else did I want to talk about? Oh, there's one other news item that I wanted to talk about, and that is, so I'm going to be traveling most of the month of July. So I'm not going to be able to do this in July, but upcoming, I'm trying to find something where I can head to Nassau. And the reason is Nassau opened their new terminal. So if you saw some of my other videos, like I showed it very briefly, like on my Beyond videos when we were on Beyond for that small group cruise we did in April. You can check out those. Um, I showed off in those videos and on a few other every time we were in Nassau that there was a lot of construction at the terminal at the port area in Nassau, and this is huge. Because there it's not like, oh well, they built a nicer building that you have to walk through. They built an entertainment complex. I mean, they're going to have concerts there. It's really impressive. So it makes it so that maybe if you aren't interested in going out in Nassau, and I still argue there's a lot of cool stuff to do and see in Nassau, but if you don't want to go out into the city of Nassau, you can enjoy the sport complex. It looks really impressive. So I want to go there and see it for myself. But if any of you are going to be in Nassau in the next month, since I'm going to be traveling, not on a cruise, send me pictures. I'd love to see it and hear your thoughts about this new terminal, this new port facility. They dumped a lot of money in there. The government did it, and I think they worked with some cruise lines a little bit on that as well. Chris, you were in Nassau 3 days ago. What did you think? Curious your thoughts. And in fairness, and I should know this, but I haven't been keeping up with the trades the last couple of weeks. I don't know if it's like 100% open. I know it's open, but I kind of feel like maybe there's still like an element of it or two that's not. But yeah, curious your thoughts. I think it's nice that customer satisfaction, guest satisfaction has been for years low with Nassau, and cruise lines told, they communicate with the tourism authority and stuff like that, and they relay that. And often contractually they're committed to visit certain ports a certain number of times, but they renew those agreements over time. And at some point they can start saying, well, listen, we can go to, Freeport, we can go to just our private destinations, right? The agreements can be complex. I almost said complicated, but they know that ultimately over time there are options. So I like that Nassau said, okay, let's clean this up. Let's do some new things, and we'll see if it works. We'll see if maybe I end up enjoying a show in the port area or something in Nassau in the coming 2 months. I don't know what sailing I'll be on. I wouldn't mind trying to get on another Virgin sailing in August. I was like, what month comes after July? We'll see. We'll see. Hey, we're coming up on an hour here. If anyone has any additional questions, topics to discuss, I'm happy to go through some stuff. And if not, then everyone can get back to their July 4th plans, and I can get something to eat. I just heard Larissa pop the cork on a bottle of champagne a second ago. I was like, oh, I'd like a glass of champagne. I thought, no, I definitely need to eat before that happens. It would be bad. Chris, the main building didn't seem to be open. Junction Museum right there as well. Oh, cool. I forgot about the museum. Most shops and kiosks are open, much nicer than what they had before. Okay, so not the main building yet. But yeah, I mean, it's, as Chris can attest to, it is mammoth. So with a lot of different parts. Maybe I'll look up when the main building opens and plan my trip accordingly. Joe, Dr. Joe Pompa, hello, Joe, asking, do ship physicians take insurance? The answer is no. So this is actually a really good question. I know you were joking partially out of curiosity, asking partially joking, partially out of curiosity, but it's actually a really good question, because if you need medical attention on a cruise ship, they do not take insurance. Now, your health plan may or may not reimburse you for those expenses. You have to check the details of your individual health plan, but they are not going to bill them directly. You are going to have to pay out of pocket and then get reimbursed. So what I would encourage you to do is have travel insurance that covers those type of expenses, because if you not only will you be more confident that a greater portion of those expenses will be paid for, but in addition, they tend to reimburse you pretty quickly. I filed a travel insurance claim with Allianz years ago, and I think within like a week I was reimbursed. They tend to be a lot faster than your health insurance might be, and they may not ask as many questions. So that's another reason that the travel insurance is really really important. But you can't just go in and say, oh well, what's the best travel insurance, or I'm just going to buy this one and assume it's going to cover what I need. You need to understand what you want to insure against, what circumstances you want to insure against, and what the limits are. So I just put another link in all the channels. Click that. That's a video that we have that I think is pretty comprehensive, talking about trip insurance. And yeah, Michael, one of the things I talk about is credit cards. A lot of credit cards have protection. Is it enough? It depends on the type of your protection that you're looking for and what credit card. Sapphire Reserve has great travel benefits. It is without question has the best travel benefits of any card. I have Amex Platinum as well. I've written about both these cards on the site. They both have a lot of good perks, but yeah, Chase Sapphire Reserve is a great one. Still, depending on how you travel, when you travel, how you book that travel, it may still be worth looking into other policies, maybe an annual policy, maybe individual policies. Sunshine, am I going to do a river cruise recap? Sunshine, thank you for asking. Excuse me. I definitely owe everyone a lot of river cruise content. Somebody asked me earlier, and I said thank you. I need people to keep asking me to hold my feet to the fire. I will be posting more river cruise content. Things to know, things to look out for, things that we didn't realize. I'll be doing like a review recap type video. I promise it is coming. I am very, very bad at taking too long to get these things out there. So yeah, Joe, just think about it. If you took a contract as a physician on a ship, you don't need to worry about insurance billing. You just say, give me the money. Show me the money. Jen helped me so much. Jen, thank you. Jen is a wonderful travel advisor. Jen helped me with my river cruise, answered so many questions I had. And somehow I have done her wrong by not covering my river cruise, and except for like one or two short things in social while we're on there. We will get there. I promise. I promise. I promise. I promise. We're gonna get to river cruise content because I want to talk about it. I'm like so enthused to talk about it. It's part of it is like I've had this thing where I don't know where to start. Not only because I shot a ton of video and went to so many amazing places, but it sold me so immediately and so thoroughly. Like I fell in love with river cruising, and like so I'm going to end up doing these videos where I just shake the camera and I'm like, oh my God, you guys need to try this out. It's such an amazing experience because I love ocean cruising, not leaving ocean cruising. And I think there's a place for ocean cruising in Europe as well. But if you really want to see Europe, it's so much better. You walk right off the ship. It's as if it's as if you have a moving hotel and the lobby of the hotel pulls up into the center of a city a lot of the time. You just walk right there. Pulled up to Cologne, walked right off of the ship into like just steps away from the Notre Dame Cathedral in Cologne. Freaking amazing. Oh man. Jen had a great time on the Tulip Time cruise through Amsterdam and Belgium. So I had intended this spring to go maybe back to the Netherlands as a land trip because I've only ever gone during the winter because I'm an idiot. I guess it wasn't winter last time I was there, but it was getting there in the cooler months. I really want to see in the springtime. I did go to an amazing tulip farm / exhibit in just outside of Montreal in April, and it was beautiful. And I was like, all right, I definitely need to see tulips in Amsterdam. Kathy, River Cruise is on your list as well. Your list is way too long, but you're knocking it out. You're doing the big things. Make a river cruise a priority. That'll be one of the points of my videos when I get those out there. What else? Any other questions? Happy to talk ship about anything. And this is where Jen says, well, except about river cruising on a recorded video. So, all right. Well, I think unless anything comes in the last second here, I think that'll be a wrap for today. Let me know in the comments if you want more of these, more often, these live videos. We can recap news stuff. I'll get my graphics better. We'll fix some of those so that when I show you guys stuff, it shows the right way. See, like why isn't that playing? See, we're gonna get so much better with this, guys. So we'll do some more live videos if you guys like them. It's a good way to update on news, talk about those upcoming sailings. I'll leave it with that. Once again, shameless plug, cruisehabit.com/join us. You can join us and get some special deals from our friends and partners, the same people that plan our travel, that have planned our travel. Truly, some of the same folks that have planned our travel for 17 years still help us, and that's why we partner with them. So I want you guys to be in good hands. Ricky, good to see you virtually. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining. I appreciate each and every one of you live and in the replay. Looking forward to seeing you guys in December. Looking forward if any of you want to join me in October in Alaska or on any of the other cruises that we have planned, or maybe you want to invite me on a cruise. No one ever invites me on cruises, Matt Hotchberg. What's up with that? Thank you guys so much. Have a wonderful, safe holiday. Drink water because it's freaking hot out there. And I look forward to talking ship with all of you again real